makes your garden grow? Water and sunshine. What makes your spirit grow? Knowing that she'll be mine.
Carried away when it comes to fire, so you got to watch me a little bit.
Tater bug, eating my potatoes. Tater bug, don't want my tomatoes. Tater bug, what makes you so hungry? Tater bug, eating all my money. What makes your garden grow? Water and sunshine.
Yay! Well, now we've got to fill it in some more. We're actually on our way to go get some compost. We will fill it in where it's settled even more in the sides there, but that is awesome. And look. Yay! Happy Memorial Day weekend, friends. It's Saturday, and it's gonna be a big work day for us. It's beautiful out. It's gonna be hot.
Except for the sun.
It's gonna be sunny. I love it. He hates it. But we have a lot we've got going on. So we're gonna be trying to get as much outside work done as we can, because it looks like the rest of the week we're gonna have pretty good chances of scattered thunderstorms all week long. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna just bring you guys along with us today, and here we go. I don't have that one.
Ruby red.
Have it.
Red romaine.
Got it.
Super red romaine.
Got it.
Bronze, I don't know what that's called.
Mignonette.
Tango leaf.
No. Don't have that one.
And
Got it.
And, oh, I do have onions.
You got some onions? Do you need some more onions? I've got onions. I've got Tokyo white bunching onions. They're like green onions. They all bunch up. You take a whole pack. I've got, oh look, I've got the ones that you have, but the yellow ones.
Yellow ones, yeah. I
some
still got some somewhere.
Yeah, I got a couple of those. Jalapenos. I got tons of California ones here. Tons of jalapenos. This is pumpkin spice jalapenos. They're just orange.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let me try some of those. Oh, I do have cayenne. I don't know. We didn't film what we were intending, but we got some compost back there. I don't know if you can see it. Our friends also gave us some vermiculite and some peat moss, which is going to be perfect for the project that I have planned when we get home. They also gave me this really cute porch sign, so really excited about that. We did some seed swapping, and now we're headed back home. Okay, so Jack got this filled up before I could come out here and help him, but this looks great. He's filled in with the compost that we got at our friend's house. They're our friends, but it's our pastor and his wife. They were gracious enough to give us this truck full of compost, this unopened bag of peat moss, and then there's an unopened bag of vermiculite that they gave us that we can use. So very excited about that, and very, very grateful to have this. So now I've got plenty of room for my herbs to sprawl out. So very, very thankful. So next project. We've had these totes since our kids were little. I mean, Emily's almost 18, Parker is almost 15, so about that long. We use these to hold toys, and then after they outgrew toys, then they held shoes. These have been sitting down in our basement forever, and we just don't use them. So anyway, Jack is getting his drill, and we're going to be drilling holes in the bottom, and then we're going to plant our potatoes in here. whenever you're drilling holes in your buckets, you just want to make sure that you're getting enough drainage that the water does not sit in the bucket, because you don't want your potatoes to rot. So hopefully that's enough. This was obviously our son's toy bucket.
Yeah,
We know this.
it's busted on the side, so she's just taking some duct tape and
Yeah, giving it a shiny chrome finish. Just set them in there, we'll figure it out.
this one. I think it might be about the same size.
Yeah, that works. I've got some grow bags coming from In My Gardener, so I could set probably those on the, other ends.
So how much compost are we starting out with?
We're starting out with 6 inches in the bottom.
That's 6, isn't it?
Probably we can take some out.
Okay.
Put it in the other one. So just kind of smooth it out. I'd say you're close enough. Yeah, I'd say
that's right at 6 inches
Yeah.
in one bucket.
yeah. All right, so now we're gonna plant our potatoes.
Yes, that filled it up to this ring right now.
Perfect. That is perfect.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so now we're gonna select some potatoes. We're gonna put 6 potatoes in each bucket. And these potatoes were brought to us by our friends at Little Acres Homestead. They had bought a bunch, and I had mentioned that I was wanting to try to grow potatoes, and they said, well, we have a bunch that you can have. So they brought it to us, and that was really awesome of them. All right, so I'm following Hollis and Nancy's Homestead's instructions, I hope, pretty closely. So I'm just looking for kind of small potatoes that have some really good eyes on them, and that's what I'm going to be using. So like I said, 6 to a bucket, and yeah, hopefully we'll get a good harvest. Just plant these with the eyes pointing up, kind of nestle them in there. And then we'll cover them with about, I think, about another 4 or 5 inches with dirt. So I selected some of the smaller potatoes because we didn't chit them. And again, I'm gonna refer you back to Hollis and Nancy's video. He has a very comprehensive guide on how to grow potatoes in containers. And he talks about the whole chitting process. Basically what that means is that you cut the potato, like we would slice this right here because there's eyes here. We would probably do another slice right here because of that eye, and then you let them cure, and those are called chits. So since we did not do that, I'm just selecting smaller potatoes. I do know that the eyes need to face up, and that's what I'm doing.
Then what? Do we bury them?
And now we cover them with a few more inches of soil. So I'm not going to do a comprehensive guide on how to do this because this is my very first time. But I do know that as the plants grow, we continue to backfill it with compost to make sure that the potatoes stay covered so they don't get exposed to sunlight, because that is bad. And then when we get the soil up as far as we can go, then we'll cover it with straw to keep it nice and moist. So our pastor and friend that got this compost, you guys know that the compost guy that we've used the last several years wasn't able to do it this year. So our pastor actually got this from our local college. They have an ag department, and they were composting, and he said he got a really good deal, and they even delivered to him. So if you're looking for compost, check out your local colleges if they have an ag department and see if that's something that they offer.
So about a half a bucket on each one. That'd be
Yeah.
about another 2 or 3 inches. About another 3 inches in each bucket.
Good? Does it look like half full to you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Next year, though, I want to try to grow potatoes the way Rachel at 1870s Homestead does, which is that Ruth style method, which is where it's straw, they grow it straw.
So here, just 1 bucket of compost. Did both tubs, about 3 inches over each tub.
Yep, so we'll just watch, and of course I know we will keep you guys updated. This is so exciting. I've been wanting to try to grow potatoes forever. So again, a huge thanks to our friend and pastor, Brother Mike and Shanna, and to our friends Rob and Keisha at Little Acres Homestead for providing the seed potatoes for us. Super cool. So my friend Shanna gave me this sign while we were over at their house, and it's really awesome. So we're gonna put this probably by the door that everybody goes in and out of. So yeah, really excited about this. All right guys, I'm finally able to use my push-pull hoe that I got for my birthday. We got this from Haas Tools, and yeah, I've already done this row and most of this row. It's so hot it's taking your breath away, so I'm able to do like 4 feet and then I have to stop and take a break. But anyway, this is really great. We'll leave a link. We don't have an affiliate or anything like that with them, but we'll leave a link so you can check it out. A link to the video that shows how it works. Anyway, it's really nice because you're not hacking at the ground, you're kind of scraping it. And
Show them the end of it. It's a little different than a normal hoe.
Yeah. So it has blades on this side and blades in the center, and it's got a pointed end. So it's a lot easier to get like in between the corn. And when you scrape over it, it takes out the weeds one way. Then when you scrape it back, it takes it out another way. And just feels like it's easier on the body to use. So this is how it works. You basically just take it and you lay it across the ground, and then you kind of scrub at the weeds.
Still a bit of a workout, isn't it?
Well, yeah, especially since we have rocky soil, but
It's crazy hot out here.
It's extremely hot, yeah. I think it's like, what, 85 degrees, real feel 90.
It's 85, but it's probably
It's like
80% humidity,
at least 80%.
which is it's just miserable.
Yeah, it's like walking around with a wet blanket over your
It's
head.
supposed to be mostly cloudy today. Well, it's mostly sunny, which
Yeah.
just stinks.
People that use drip tape in their garden for irrigation really like this because the way this is shaped, you can go right under it. You can go under the drip tape without
That's cool.
breaking it.
That's a whole lot easier than just hacking at it with a normal
Yeah.
hoe, isn't it?
Yep. Good Sunday morning. I am excited because we actually are going to church today. And yeah, I'm really pumped. But anyway, I wanted to properly sign off because we worked our tails off yesterday. Then after we ate dinner, I completely crashed. I was asleep in the recliner by 8 o'clock. And so, yeah, I wanted to do a proper sign off, ending it with just a weekly garden update showing you what's changed since the last garden video. And so we'll start over here with the herb garden. Okay, so you saw earlier in the video, the biggest change is Jack cut away the top of the tire. So excited about that. I had mentioned in I think the last video that yeah, next year I'm gonna have Jackie open up the tire, and then somebody said, well, why not do it now? I'm like, you know what, why not do it now? So anyway, we cut off the top of the tire, and then Jack backfilled with compost that will give our herbs plenty of room to grow and spread. Really excited. Another change, we have some buds on our nasturtiums. They look fantastic. I did end up going to a garden patch and purchasing some herbs. My basil was just getting eaten up so bad by the bugs. Do you see there's ants crawling all over? I did sprinkle DE on this already. So hopefully that will preserve it. I am gonna wait a little while, let my roots get good and established before I come and prune it. But anyway, it's looking really good. I planted it like 2 days ago. Cilantro is doing great. Oregano is time to harvest some of it. Another change is I bought some chocolate mint. Jen from Cyber's Homestead grows this and talks about it and how much they love it. So I was really excited when the garden store had one. So anyway, all right, so that is the herb garden. And now let's check out the Victory Garden. Okay, starting with the salad bed, we now have blossoms on our Scarlet Runner beans. They are beautiful. The beans are climbing, which is so cool to see. And I swear they grow like an inch a day. It's awesome. My lettuce is still doing really well. This nasturtium back here is really growing and getting full. This is the pink bumblebee tomato that I started from seed, and it looks amazing. That stalk is incredible. It's fatter than my thumb. This is Merlot lettuce, looks good. I've got spring onions that are doing incredible. It's time to do another spinach harvest. It's also time to do another Swiss chard harvest. It's important for me to keep this harvested just because I have sparkler tip radishes that are planted in between and they need sunlight. So yeah, I need to get on that. Okay, in this last row I had some beets. There was just like 6 beets or so that I had planted there, and I went ahead and pulled those up, and I stuck in there a volunteer tomato plant that was growing in the herb garden. I also have a pygmy sunflower that is doing really well, and then I stuck one of the basil plants that I purchased right there. That is a zinnia that I started from seed, and it is growing all kinds of wonky. It is twisted, or I don't know what's happening here. Here we go. I don't know if this is gonna make it or not. It's all the leaves are all twisted. It was weird, it started that way. So that does it for the salad bed. Then over in this pot, I had originally planted some sugar baby watermelon and they never came up. So I went ahead and freshened the soil and planted spaghetti squash, and they have all come up. Now obviously, I don't know what that is. Obviously, I'm not keeping all of those. A couple of plants will stay, and then hopefully trellis on this. And my gardener sells trellis netting on his website. So I've actually bought a couple of those. So I may change out the jute string for that netting because it's supposed to be stronger. It holds up to like 60 pounds. So that's probably what I'm gonna do, is take this down and then fasten the netting. And I'm also going to use netting where the cucumbers are, but anyway, we'll talk about that later. Okay, so this is my garlic, pepper, and onion bed. The snakes really seem to be helping. There's not been any further bird damage since I put the snakes in the garden. So I'm hoping that is a good thing. However, I am getting buggy damage. Look at that. So I need to sprinkle some DE out here. I have noticed that like this This is one of the pepper plants that got snipped. It seems to be trying to fill back out, so hopefully it will survive. So these are my banana peppers that I started from seed. And then down here is our jalapeno plants. These onions in the back row, I'm attempting to grow these nice and big. So we'll see how that goes. My garlic should be ready to harvest, I don't know, probably in about a month or so, we'll see. The cantaloupe is doing good. I got 2 that I kept. I went ahead and thinned out all the other ones. These 2 look the best, so that's what we're going with. We'll see how it does. And then in my carrot and Egyptian walking onion bed, things are going okay. I think this is going to be fine because when I look really, really close, I see lots of little seedlings popping up. I was really worried because an animal had gotten here and dug around, and I thought, oh great, it's a total loss. But it's not. I think I just need to give it some time and it should be fine. These are going crazy. We are definitely eating them. This side had less animal damage, but you can see where an animal had walked around in here. But again, there are some little seedlings trying to pop up. All right, so now we're coming around to the front side. This is my bush bean and cucumber bed. If you remember, we had a freeze, a late freaky freeze, and a lot of my cucumber plants got damaged, so I had to pull them up and reseed. Some of them were fine, and so I kept those, and they're doing great. I had to reseed all of the bush beans. They're all coming up. They all look fantastic. And then right through here, I had planted some icicle radishes. They've all bolted, which was fine because I didn't like them anyway. I thought they were gross. But anyway, so along this bed, I have planted broccoli rabe. I've never successfully grown it before, so I'm giving it a try. I pulled up the radishes, I sprinkled in some 555, and then planted my broccoli rabe. So I'm gonna give that a try. I hope it works out. So we'll be keeping our eye out on that. This is our strawberry bed. I had ordered 20 bare root plants from My Gardener. I finally got them last week. I soaked them in water overnight and then planted them the next day, and look. Look! So as of right now, half of them have come out of dormancy, and I am so excited. Some of them, oh look, there's a worm. That one looks like it's trying. There's a little bit of something going on right there. Nice little earthworm keeping it company. But anyway, I am so happy with this because I really didn't feel like I knew what I was doing. I'd watched a ton of videos, but you know, sometimes when you actually start, it can be really intimidating. So anyway, I just really wanted these, I really want these to do well. But yeah, some of these I'm just, oh no, there's a green there. Okay, good. I was really worried about that one. That one, okay, this is another one that I'm not too sure about. So I'm not gonna give up on it yet. Let's see, here's another one. Here's another one, but I don't know. I'm just, be patient, be patient, be patient. Okay, my lemon balm looks good. Can you see it down there? There it is. The hyssop is growing. And then that brings us down here to our last bed in the Victory Garden. Patty pan squash is making an excellent comeback, even though it had been mercilessly pruned by the birds. It's starting to fill back out. All right, so baby patty pan's doing good. Get back, Rue. Again, more Blue Lake bush beans in the bed. Scarlet runner beans doing incredibly well. Strawberries, oh my gosh, look at these strawberries. This is a strawberry plant that I started from seed last year that has done incredibly well. It overwintered beautifully. That looks rotten. There's a lot of DE, as you can see. There's like gnats flying around, and anyway, so I try to keep this pretty sprinkled. But look at that. Isn't that fantastic? These are going to be nice big strawberries this year. Then we have harvested all of the French breakfast radishes, which are our favorite, and we ate every single one of them. And then, so I amended the soil here and also put the broccoli rabe. Okay, that wraps up the Victory Garden. Now let's go to Fort Freedom. I have not been out here yet this morning, and the first thing I see, look how pretty. Oh my goodness. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so we have our insect barrier over our cabbage, and they are doing so incredibly well. I don't know if you can see down in there. There is some bug damage though, and I'm not sure what's causing it. I know it's not white moths because white moths aren't in there, but I'm sure it's something that lives in the soil. So we'll have to, so you can see right there. I'm probably going to sprinkle some DE in there as well to prevent further damage, but everything looks beautiful in here. Okay. All right, so now on to our second row. Oh, also, I always forget to include the little nasturtium that I planted down, or the little zinnia that I planted down here. Okay, so on to the next row. Can't see because of the shadow of the fence, but all of the okra has popped up. Very happy about that. My sunflower has popped up down there. So these all look fantastic. And then my marigold looks good. This is a marigold I started from seed. These are seeds that I saved from last year. I've got little flower buds on them. And then I mulched these are our California Wonder Bell peppers. I mulched them with straw the other day, and so they're all doing really well. Another toy snake. See, and then it ends with another marigold with a pretty little bud on it. So all of that looks good. Look, you can see the okra better from here. Okay, now starting with our tomato row. This marigold is trying to make a comeback after being attacked by birds, so we'll see. I had something there. I had a tomato plant there, and it got eaten down, so I replaced it with a candy striped zinnia. Here I planted, I had a basil, it got eaten by the bugs, so I planted something else there. I don't remember what I planted there. This whole row is Roma Tomatoes, and we're all doing good over here. We are starting to get little buds on us. Can you see? There we go. They're just doing really, really well. Really healthy and strong. Everything looks good. Down here is another patty pan that got pruned from our birds. But look at this. Look at that. It's a little patty pan. And it's trying to fill back out with leaves. So I think it's gonna be okay, actually. I'm really relieved. Okay, and this is our second row of tomatoes. Hi. This was a basil that it got eaten. And again, you just see all these poor tomatoes that have been attacked by the birds, but they're hanging on and they're filling out. So I think they're gonna be okay. So half of this row is Roma tomatoes, and the other half is Cherokee purple and mortgage lifter. So it's like this one is doing really, really well. We are going to be getting another cattle panel to trellis this row of tomatoes on. This is another patty pan squash that's holding on, and it's filling back out, so I think we're good. Okay, now down this row, this is half squash and zucchini and half collard greens. And so the squash is coming up. Did have another squash planted down here that got snipped by the birds. But these are doing really, really well. Had another one pop up right there, I think. So anyway, so we're doing good here. And then this is our collard greens, and they're doing well. When they get a little bit bigger, we'll start thinning them out. That's a collard green that's doing really well. And we've got sunflowers coming up there. Okay, and then the rest of this is sweet corn. We do peaches and cream. It is our favorite. So this is our oldest row. This row did not get very much damage from the freeze, so we just let it go, and it's doing great. Then I replanted this row, and it's doing really well. Then I replanted this row, and it's coming up. And then I replanted this row, and it just started coming up overnight because none of those little babies were up yesterday. So awesome, 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 awesome. Anyway, so that is the big garden, and it is doing incredibly well. I just feel very, very blessed. And then we started on our doing more with our container gardening yesterday, which you saw in the video earlier. We planted russet potatoes. So I do plan on adding to this. I have some grow bags coming from In My Gardener. I also plan on purchasing several more of these because I want more than just this as far as potatoes go. And so yeah, we'll be adding more to the container garden in here. All that compost that we had left, we've put over here. We've got a bunch of boards. Doesn't look very pretty, but it's keeping the compost mostly covered so we don't lose any of it. So that way we can use it to cover our potatoes as well as fill any containers that we add to our garden. So yeah, so that is the garden update. And I always forget about the pots that are on the back deck. So, of course, the chives are amazing. If you recall, I also have some muncher cucumbers on the deck. They are perfect for salads. I love them in salads. They're thin-skinned. They're awesome. And so we're growing these on a pot on our porch. And you can see they're doing really well. I've got it thinned down to just 2. And of course our chives are doing good. And then, oh, also I got my cover from my friend Jennifer from Serenity Hill Farmstead. Sent me that. It works perfectly. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's long. It was a great day. We got a lot accomplished. And yeah, so if you are new here, we would love to have you subscribe. We are Freedom Homestead. We are about life, liberty, and the pursuit of preparedness. And we have expanded our food production here on our homestead. We're going to be getting chickens. Where is it? There's our coop. It's almost done. We'll be getting chickens in a couple of weeks. And we're homeschoolers. We preserve food. We live on a budget. We love the Lord. We love our country. And that's us in a nutshell. Anyway, hope you guys have a great day. Until next time, remember to be vigilant, be prayerful, and be prepared. Bye, guys.